If you've blocked your parents or parent and you've gone no contact, and you come from a parent who is emotionally toxic, who is narcissistic, and they are on a social media platform and you're watching their content, I want to give you a word of advice. Block them. Don't engage or watch their content. And if they know you're watching it, block them immediately. The only thing that's going to come from you watching that content is being more hurt, being emotionally violated, and being exposed to the very thing in person that you have gone through all these efforts to separate from. I know you might be worried about what they're sharing. I get it. Like embarrassing stories to smear campaign you when you're a little child. Well, the rest of us know that a parent who speaks poorly about their child, like saying things like, oh, they were so difficult, or my toddler was emotionally sensitive, or, when they were like 12, they were doing drugs and this, that, and the other, or, I just couldn't control them. We know those people out there that are thoughtful, loving human beings realize that when a parent smear campaigns their child like that, the parent is the problem. And anyone who drinks that Kool-Aid, well, they're not your spirit animals anyway, so it doesn't matter. I know it hurts, but what matters more is what you know to be true and what you know about yourself. That's what really matters. The words that these people speak, these abusive people speak, they don't really change your life unless you're engaging with it, unless you're watching it. And then it does change your life. It gives them an opportunity to hurt you. If they know you're watching, they know where all your wounds are because they place them there. They're going to go right in for your hot buttons because they want to be in control of your emotional well-being. They caused you harm when you were together and begging them not to. Now they're causing you harm because they get attention for it. And they know they can get to you. It's their last way of maintaining a hold on you. There are 4 or 5 of them out there, and there's some things that I've seen lately, and I know they know their adult children are watching. And I'm not going to say how I know that, but I know that for a fact. One of them was talking about, how she gave her kids money and how they were never grateful. And, she apologized for anything she might have done. And, she didn't mean to try to control them through the money sort of thing. And that actually wasn't true at all. I have the other side of the story. But yet here she is on social media making it seem like they're these ungrateful kids who just used her and abused her and tossed her away. Or the one who's talking about cleaning out, a garage and some items that belong to her adult children, probably from childhood, and how she's just going to discard them. They're not talking to her. That's really hurtful. And that's a big marker. That's a big pattern thing of somebody who is a toxic, narcissistic, maybe that's redundant, abuser. They withhold things of value to us, like childhood photos, for example. Now, this person could choose to give it to another family member, or, I don't know, the other parent of those adult children, make some arrangements. She doesn't want it, doesn't have the space, no problem. But that's not what she's choosing to do, because she's using this story and that sharing to bait those kids, to hurt them. She says things like, if they come back, maybe I'll let them back in, maybe I'll accept their apologies. She twists and turns everything around and continues to invalidate her children's experience and the experience of a ton of emotional abuse survivors. Actually doesn't even validate emotional abuse is as traumatic as physical and CSA. And as a survivor of all 3, I can tell you that the emotional abuse was by far the worst that I've gone through and hardest to recover from. So again, I just want to go backwards a little bit. If you have a parent out there who's sharing content, don't worry about it. We've got you. You're a part of the survivor community. whatever they're saying doesn't change your life. It doesn't, impact how you pay your bills, or whether or not you have other people that love you, or, what you're going to eat for breakfast tomorrow, or the family that you're building, or the therapy you're going through to build a healthier life, or the cycle breaking that you're doing. Nothing that they say or do can control what you do next and how you live now, unless you let it. And the way that you allow that, it's time for us to take ownership sometimes, is by engaging with something that you don't need to be watching. And again, you can have somebody else filter through what's going on if there's some sort of issue that you're concerned about. I love you very much, my sibling survivors. I want to thank you so much for the last couple of years and being a part of this community that we've built together. And I really appreciate all the comments that you make and all the support that you give one another, and myself included. It's not an easy road, to be left with being an adult orphan of somebody who abandoned you from the time that you were born through abuse. It's a terrible journey to have to go through, but it's a lot easier knowing that we have each other and that we're not alone. So with that said, just keep moving forward. Hold your no contact if that's where you are and what's good for you and comfortable for you. And don't expose yourself to people who are toxic that don't deserve to have access to you.